What's going on, guys? It's time for our digital huddle today, and what a cool week. This week we have Pastor Jim Freeze in the house. Listen, if you don't know who Pastor Jim is, you have to be here. Get your whole team here. Be ready because, man, he is such an incredible man of God, pastor, just engaging speaker, motivational personality. He's all the things. I love Pastor Jim so much, and so make sure you are here. It's going to be a great time at GC this weekend. And we've been talking about the book during this huddle. We've been talking about the book, The Rhinoceros Success. It's this one right here, and just taking pieces of it and talking through how we can, as leaders, as people, as parents, as spouses, how we can be a rhino in our life and not a cow. A cow is someone who just allows life to happen to them, whereas the rhino is the one who really charges after their goals. And we've been talking about charging after our goals, really after starting the beginning of the year. How can we be people who set goals and we truly see them all the way through to the end, and we get to this place where, like, hey, I went further this year than I ever gone. Like, I didn't just stop going to the gym in February, or I didn't stop this goal in February. I kept going. And what if we could get to the end of 2025 and look back and go, oh my gosh, look at where my life is. I went so far with some of the things I felt God placed on my heart this year. And so that's the why behind this. So the rhinoceros success, I want to see you succeed. I want to see myself succeed. And I think God has called us to greater things. And so let's go to that place. And so we were talking about how to be a rhino in different areas of our life, and we talked about being a rhino in our finances, right? And we talked about being a rhino at work. And today, the other part that I want to talk about is being a rhino with your family. Now, being a rhino in your family can look like a lot of different things. You have different goals, maybe different expectations you have with your family, places you're trying to get to. And it's important to, with your family, whether your family is you and your spouse, or it's you, your spouse, and your kids, even if it's just you and you are single. I have something I want all of these categories to go through and think about today. First one is this, though. If we're talking about your marriage, if you really think about, the book talks about it this way, is that your marriage is kind of like this garden that you have to take care of and maintain, and go work at, and get your hands dirty a little bit, and go out there and get stuff done. And if you were to come over to my house, there's a lot of times where I love to do yard work. And if you look at my front yard, there's a lot of times where Chris and I were just out there the other day, and I was like, man, I just think it's looking really good right now. And it's because we have I've done like the landscaping up by my doors, all seashells, and I've done all these plants thanks to Curtis Love. He's given me so many plants that I've planted in my yard, and I have put them in different places. They're all growing and doing so well, and done so much weed and feed, and so much trimming, and so much edging, and so much maintenance. I do so much work. But the fact is that if you actually go to my house and watch me, literally most mornings I go out and work out about 5:30 in the morning. I get back, let's say 6:30, 6:45 from my workout, and I usually always at least stop by the front yard and I pull a couple little weeds that I see. And this is the thing that the book talks about that I feel like I've experienced with my own life, is that if you go every single day and just pull a few weeds, then when you look at your yard, you go, man, it looks good. My yard looks good. But if I don't do that, if I go on vacation for like a week and then I come back, I'm just kind of out of the flow of it, and I, am not pulling the weeds, what will happen is a few weeks go by and I haven't pulled any weeds. And it gets to this place where now when I'm like, okay, I got to go get my yard back, it takes me hours and hours and hours to kind of reset everything and get it squared away and right again. The same is true with our marriage, right? If we're going to be a rhino in our marriage, if we're going to charge after goals, then we also have to be a person who does it consistently. So are you in your marriage right now? Think about different ways where you can maybe have tough conversations. Maybe just have real conversations. Take a walk with your spouse and have real open conversations about things that you're working through, things that you're thinking, things that you're dealing with, and have these conversations together so that every day you guys are working together. You're pulling some weeds together every day, because it's not even that bad then. And you're working through these things daily. Don't let it fester. Don't let it grow, because what happens is if you just hold these things in and you don't have this open communication with your spouse, eventually when it's time to pull the weeds in the garden of your marriage, you'll find that there's so many. It's going to take a lot of work and a lot of it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get your marriage back to where you want it to be. So be the person, be the Rhino who's constantly, every day, consistently doing something, working in your marriage, so that your marriage is as healthy as it possibly can be. Now, talking about your kids, the book talks about involving your children in your decisions. A Rhino has their family together, and they're going in as a unit in so many different areas of their life. They're not a cow just letting their kids do whatever they're doing and then they're going to do whatever they're doing. No, they bring their kids in for it. So this is something that's challenging to me, something I want to do a better job at, but we do a good job in some areas of our life with our kids with this. But everything from spring break, our family is going to go camping in an RV. We like to just get away and unplug. And so what we did, though, is we brought the boys all together. We're like, oh, great, boys, here's a couple of vacation options for our family. What do you guys think? And they were like, yeah, let's go camping. They love camping. And so we ran with the camping, and because we all kind of made the decision together, we brought them in to help make a decision. But this also goes with, and this is where I got to do a better job, is doing the work like on my yard. I want them to come out with me and do it with me so that they can be a part of taking care of what is ours, taking care of our home. So they have that work ethic that they're learning and growing in. But as a family, we are doing this together. We're in this together. Rhinos do things together with their children. That's how they raise up. That's how they train up that generation, right? Train a child in the way they should go, not necessarily the way they want to go. The scripture says in the way they should go. All right, next thing. If you are single, here's the thing. Be the best Rhino that you can be. Be the Rhino that you would want to date. You know, so oftentimes we spend time when we're single looking for someone else to complete us, when in reality, you're complete. You were made by God, for God, in His image, and with another person, when in their image, and they come together with you, you guys are just like a superpower. It's the two of you against the world. Woo! You know, but you are complete on your own. And so have confidence in that and be the best you that you can be, and be the person that you would want to date. And then when you do find that person, you are ready to walk into marriage in a whole different way. And so be a Rhino, whether you are single and by yourself. Set some strong goals and go after those goals, charge after those goals, achieve those goals. If you have children, bring them along so you have your little Rhinos with you, right? And they are learning how to charge like mom and dad, and like how mom and dad thinks through these goals, and how mom and dad are reaching these goals. My whole thing I told you guys about how I'm trying to, my health journey this year, 2025, I'm turning 40, I'm trying to be healthier. So I'm eating differently this year than I've eaten in the past. I'm working out differently than the way I've worked out in the past. I'm running so much more than I've run in the past, and my kids are a part of this. They know I'm talking about it, and they're in with those conversations. They understand what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it. And so my little Rhinos are in with me and understanding, so that they can begin to make goals as well that are good for them and see them through, just like mommy and daddy are. And then in your marriage needs to be healthy. If you want your kids to have healthy relationships and healthy marriages, I believe we have to be a good example of that. So if I want my boys to be everything that I believe that God has created them to be, then I need to be the husband that God has intended for me to be, right? And so I need to love my wife. I need to respect my wife, honor my wife, and I need to be the best Rhino and set some goals to be that husband, that Rhino husband that I can be. But what are you going to do? What kind of goals can you do? What kind of goals can you create to help yourself get to that place in your family, to bring your kids along and be the Rhino that God created you to be? Because I believe all of us can reach those goals. I believe all of us have a Rhino in us where we can go and charge after some goals and reach the goals that we set. So man, I love you guys. I can't wait to see you on Sunday. It's going to be a good time. Listen, a little housekeeping just so you know. with our cafe renovation issues that we are up against right now, the cafe will be shut down for at least a few weeks at this point that we know about. So we will have free coffee for everybody, Dream Team and congregation, just free coffee for everybody, but no specialty drinks. So if you're a person who needs your latte, you need your foo-foo drink, it means that you need to probably go to Starbucks on your way here. So anyways, just so you know that I don't want your morning to be thrown off because you don't have a latte in your hand, okay? So I love you guys. Can't wait to see you on Sunday.